I'm a spirit speaking, truth seeking, heart reaching, knowledge leaking, seeds sowing, harvest reaping, man of meager meaning. I have yet.
mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z.
Yeah.
Once again, this broadcast has been brought to you by mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z, where reading fundamental. Also brought to you by bindedbooks.com, where treasures are bound. Be sure to get all of your teas at My Son's Teas, the tea of teas, divinely prepared at herbsofmyaunt.com. Be sure to check out all of those musical stylings by Brian Hicks Spade at bhspademusic.com. For your everyday items and religious regalia, be sure to check out morrishaberdasher.com. And for that everyday especial Morris drip, be sure to check out morsachi.com. And all of these companies are powered by ALO Design Pros. Design your online business strategy today.
No such thing as failure, baby. Don't forget who made you. You can't be thinking minor when you need to be thinking major. They made you think they saved you, but can't nobody save you. And
Peace and love, family. Welcome to the BBT Adept class lecture reading for today. We'd like to invite you in with love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Islam. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce the illustrious Sheikh, Khary of the BBT, Science Temple and School. Islam.
Alonzo, man, gratitude for those gracious words. You made me sound like I was somebody.
More than that.
You made me sound like I was somebody. Give me 1 second, Pride. Give me 1 second.
Islam.
Absolutely. I got you, bro. I got you. But absolutely, man. Islam to everyone, man, on this beautiful day. Today is Saturday, so it's our Adapt class. I know my lighting is kind of dark, but forgive me. 1 second. Maybe I got to turn my lighting up. Hold on. 1 second. Let me see something on this device. Maybe that's the issue. I got to turn my lighting on. Let's see. Yeah, of course. Duh. Come on, Khary. You gotta know some little about technology. That's a little bit. There we go. I think that's it. But it still don't look too good. Now it will look even worse. Oh, there we go. Just gonna have to do. I think it's this lighting. It was that lighting that was. I think it was that lighting. But oh well. It's not gonna stop what we're doing. Peace to everyone. I want to say gratitude, love for everyone taking y'all time to listen to me today. This is real life. I want to say peace, love, and light and illumination. And today at the BBT, this is our platform where we like to talk about history, where we like to talk about who we are, where we like to prove all things and hold fast to what is good, where we here to talk about culture. We're not worried about where nobody else come from or this or that. You need to be sure of who you are. You need to be sure that we are one people and one nationality. And some of the conversation me and my dad was having is a lot of us as misnumbered Black people, we don't know that our Moorish nationality. And if you want to take it ancient, we already were free men. I didn't say some people weren't from the continent of Africa, but we are ancient Amazigians. So a lot of us get misconstrued in thinking we are different people as far as nationality. Now let's do it on the religious side. You know, I have to tell my brothers and sisters, truth is truth and science is science. When you deal with the so-called Hebrew Israelite, you're dealing with Wentworth Matthews. You're dealing with Rabbi Mordecai. You dealing with the more Zionist Jews. Am I right or am I wrong?
Islam.
So if I'm right of what I'm saying, and if you call yourself a Hebrew Israelite or any other that, your originator, the elder of the so-called Hebrew Israelite, understand his Moorish culture. Am I right about it?
Indeed.
All you got to do is get the book, The Chosen Ones. It's in there. They right in front of the what? The Moorish Zionist Temple of the Jews. They temple. Before 1948, before Israel was created a state or whatever you want to call it, country, whatever you want to misnomer it. And you see the American flag and you see the white flag with the blue 6-point star that a certain country took as their nation flag. Am I right about it?
Yes, sir. You're right.
So if I'm right about that, no matter what color you are, that's a historical fact. That's an American truth. That's a historical religious truth. A truth. A truth. And truth has no sides. Brothers and sisters, when you're dealing with a higher level of wisdom, you're going to synchronize the science. Absolute power can corrupt you. How? Absolutely. I'm not saying people don't start off right. Check this out. Yahweh being Yahweh. Now, he was a FOI. I try to show people in line to stay with wisdom, to stay on the right path, to stay on the right path of understanding. Now let's deal with some of my Nation of Islam brothers. I love everyone, but you can't say you don't know what I'm talking about. You can't say it. No one can do nothing to you unless they know you. That's called infiltration. Anything else, you will see it coming. So when I speak of these truths, a lot of things, my brothers and sisters, Noble Allows, I'm gonna let you read it. Go to the last page of the document. You have page 43 and read the bottom of the page for your brother, please. For Sheikh, please, if you don't mind.
Islam.
If you don't mind. Because see, I'm always going to give you bullets. I'm always going to give you aha moments. Just like in academia, I ask a lot of people, you don't know what the information is before you touch it. You haven't read the preface. You haven't looked anything up. So you haven't done any wisdom, any knowledge to even have any speaking point or any subjective or objective or concur, whatever, because you did no research. Go to page 43, the last page, and read on the bottom what it says on the bottom.
Right here. First, this part.
It's the last. It's right on the bottom. It says written and sent.
Oh, here.
Yeah, there you go. Now they start right there. Now don't before you even read that. So let me enact. You know, I'm a teacher, so I'm gonna teach. That's why I said this is a temple and school. Church is the people. I don't have no problem with vernacular. So if we the people, and like I tell people, the reason why I don't diss church people, because they put their money where their mouth is. And in church, when you hear church, when you go into church, automatically you donating. You can talk all the stuff you want to about the church, but I bet you if your wife, your kids, whatever, you're giving them some money, and in your head, mentally, from that phrase, it's like a zombie, boom, the donation time, offering, you giving something. Am I right or am I wrong about it?
Islam.
All right, don't treat me no different. That's what I tell everybody. Don't treat me no different, and we can do something magnanimous. We don't have to talk about nobody that's doing no crap. Treat me the same way we'll treat the misnomer preachers that we know doing some of the most outlandish stuff, especially in my city. It's been coming out, and I don't got to talk about names. We'll talk about it personal, but it's all on Instagram. I told y'all, the church ain't no different than the streets. I don't care what these people talk about, especially when these people got secrets, especially when these people don't even like the people. I told people this forever. I said, listen, if it take that to have the riches of the Lord, I don't want it. Because I'm sincere. I should have it. My cup should be running over. The scripture says the people build a tabernacle. Hold me accountable. Hold me accountable. And I tell people, ain't nobody donating no $4 million to me. I ain't told nobody to open up no school and donate all that money. Ain't did nothing. I ain't out here riding around no Jaguar or no the goddamn Rolls Royce off donations. Lying to the people. Everybody see me doing the thing with me and my family with pennies that make dollars. Was like, okay, I'm not from Arizona. Had a temple for a whole year on my own, me and my parents. Then we got a whole school. What people talk about? I moved out there and nobody met all type of people. I'm a divine minister to all different nationalities. Come on, man. That's why I tell people, don't treat me no different than the preacher you talk about when you leave home or after you leave church. Treat me the same. And I guarantee you, we can have something magnanimous. I guarantee you. But back to the fact of the matter, what that bottom thing say, Alonzo, when I always say, listen, no one can do nothing to you. It always comes from your own people, from Patrice Lumumba to the Big Six to all that African American summit when they say, no, you Negro, Black and color, and African American. Isn't it ironic that we're the only group of people that got a different name every damn month?
You know that.
Isn't it ironic? So when we know this and we looking at all our figures, get that white man stuff out your head. Because I don't be wanting to hear it. Because people are like, are you afraid of man? I got the same education they got. My degree is higher. My ordination, my initiation is higher. So what I'm saying, we have to clean our own self up. Not dissing no one, but say, yes, we know what you're saying, but you knew what Sheik's saying. You knew what Sheik's saying. Why? If you're an elder in this set, read what it say at the bottom, Noble.
It says, footnote 52, it says, written and sent to all students in the ministry of Islam in the wilderness of North America by Elijah Muhammad, servant of Allah. Dated, this is important, dated April 2nd, 1936 through January 18, 1963. That's about 27 years in between 36 and 63. Islam.
So when we speaking like this, and these brothers be like, "Oh, I've been in this for years," and they professing things in our face. You see how easy it can be tricked, and you get your whole mind, your whole pH balance off because you looking at something else at the enemy, but you being lied to, right in the face. Because how you don't know what Sheik's saying? When I tell y'all my teachings is old, all my teachings is old. So when people talk about, are you afraid? Yeah, you're dealing with the Illuminati. You're dealing with enlightenment. You're dealing with the aha moment. I keep telling my brothers and sisters, I have to be sincere. And I hope my people latch on. When I went to the university in Grand Canyon University, they were like, well, we know you're here just to get this wisdom and take it back to your city. That's how I made all my connections with all European PhDs and chairs of different academia and Scottish Rite Masons that know exactly who Noble Drew Ali is. Why we know that? Because I shared the video of the Scottish Rite Mason giving credit to our prophet on his 135th birthday. That's why. So if your uncle, your cousin is a Scottish Rite Mason or whatever, why don't you know what the European or the white man know that you say, and he the enemy? Clearly something is off. Am I right about what I'm saying?
Indeed.
So get all that color out your head. Get all that stuff out your head. That's what we got to do right now, because our prophet said that a certain people going to be here to show you how to build a nation, a government. So if that's the case, it got to be some use. I keep telling us we've been lied to. We must come together under sound mind in the flesh. I'm not a martyr. I'm not giving my life for no Negroes. Excuse my candor. I'm giving my all in the flesh. I don't have to die for heaven. Why? Because the scripture says it. That's why. Because the scripture says it.
Islam reinforces that truth has no sides. Let's get out of that color. Get out of that color scheme.
You see? So when I speak and when I deal with my Jewish colleagues and my Jewish Masons, they say, Sheikh, truth has no sides. What's written is written. What's written is written. If this is your DNA, can't nobody refute what I'm saying. I did this in academia. I'm bringing something back to my people. I'm not coming back and switch it up and be like, oh, I compromised myself. Y'all saw me on my journey. Y'all was right with me on my journey. You see, we're supposed to get there. We're supposed to. If it just boiled down to a couple of dollars, y'all, come on. Let's see what we're going to do with it. I'm telling you, and hold me accountable. I'm trying to tell you, because truth has no size. This information that I give is old wisdom. That's why no one can shut it down. Even when we clearing any other aspect from what we're talking about. That's why we must continue to spread this, and this mission must be spread. It must. Why? Because look what's happening. So if a group of brothers and sisters that say the nation, which I love my brothers, you know, because I can go even further. It hurts my heart when we talk that color stuff, and then they try to use the red book, and that red book, when I use my compass and square, I dissect all the tradition of it, and then they want to talk to me in private and say, well, it's just tradition. I know that. All I did was law. Mm-hmm. Just like I did with the Salat. I don't have no problem doing no other, but I'll do nothing outside of myself. I base myself on understandings, on the law. I keep telling y'all, because that's time for the slave. I'm not a slave. I'm God. I made in the image of the Creator. That's my rest time. It's in your Quran. I don't give a damn which one you read, with the K or the Q. See, this is what I be telling brothers. They got you off the realm looking at people because you don't know history. You don't know who you are. You don't know who you are. That's a big, big factor today. Who you are is a major factor. That's a big shift. What you profess out of your mouth. If black is according to science and law, and if everything is wrapped up in law and in the court of law, why would you want to identify as anything that's pertaining to a slave? Why? Why would you willingly? As a willing obligor, just like when you feel from black land on a piece of paper, they like, oh, so you try to talk about you free. No, you just filled out something that's synonymous to a slave. Like, clearly, you have no understanding. You don't know. We don't know who we are, y'all. Think about this as we talk about a cosmic event. Think about, my dad always talk about the beginning of Moses, but then when I say wisdom builds on top of wisdom, but in order to build on something on solid ground, you have to have solid ground. You have to have, like I said, I've been homeschooled as well. So when I talk about Moses and that powerful of Moses, beginning at Moses, and I say, what did Moses teach? Moses can only teach what he learned. So if you teach it, what was Moses skilled in? What science was he skilled in? Not some, not a little, not a tittle, not some from the West, not this. He was skilled in all of the what? The wisdom of who?
Egypt.
Huh?
Egyptian science.
Oh. So when people be coming and trying to say, well, the Christian, I said, dude, you can't do that. We're not going to play that game. We're talking about a culture. If we beginning at Moses, and Moses was under a specific craft, and he was learning all the wisdom of the Egyptians, and then his brother Aaron was his mouthpiece. What you thought he taught Aaron?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
That same science.
Huh?
Islam.
You see, this is what needs to be taught from the pulpit, from the halls. Like I said, it needs to be accepted. If we are people, everybody say they love reparations. Okay, well, I'm with reparations too. Now let me tell you how it's going to go and how it's not going to go. And we can get anybody, we can get any lawyer, attorneys, anything. I guarantee you, they will have nothing to say. I guarantee you. Now they can come with they don't like me, or they can say a whole bunch of stuff to try to hurt my feelings, which that don't mean nothing. They can't bring my brother back, so they not going. I live like a dead man already. I tell y'all that already. Like, please, I'll give my life for every one of y'all right now, and y'all know it. I'll fly. You know it. That's who I am. I live like a person that's why I go so hard with what I do. You know, but we're not going to deny our culture to please someone else or to make someone else feel good. Not nobody, parents, aunties, cousins, loved one, none of that. They should have a clear understanding. They should want to know what we're talking about, especially if they say they love Jesus. Huh?
Islam.
Come on now, y'all. This is what we should be talking about. We ain't teaching no foreign science to us. What we've been taught wrong. So if you must be resurrected, that means you was here before. If you need to be restored, that means you need to be restored back to the original state. What? From what this wisdom that I'm giving you, correcting the science. I tell everybody, more science is so simple, it's so hard. You ain't changing that. You are correcting a mistake. And people be like, oh, I hear. They be like, man, y'all sheep be talking in wisdom, and a lot of people don't catch it. I don't have to think about what the hell I'm saying. I live it. I just said you ain't changing that. You are your mother and your father's son. The Bible tell you that. You correcting a mistake that maybe they didn't know. If you sit down and have a conversation with them, they'll be like, yeah, and they'll be under the same what? Fig tree that you are. Why? Because you come from their seed. We talk about understanding. We talk about a house not divided. Y'all ain't catching me. Y'all ain't catching me. You got to be that in your house. You got to be that in the house. And that's why it's going to take a lot of time for us to get there, because we doing it, we real men. We are, like they say, that our boots on the ground. We've done real work. We've written literature. Not me, we. The BBT, we with literature. This ain't about me. This is we. Because when the floodgates open, we all in it. Everything gonna have to halt. You got to imagine we was a $4 million operation like a lot of these people be doing. Man, y'all, our lives finna change. Why? Because we got to take this to the world. People need to know who they are, their nationality and their spirituality. This is the important science. And we connect the scriptures. We don't diss the scriptures. We don't let nobody diss the scriptures. How can you be a Moor and then operating, well, this somebody else science? How? And we from the tribe of Judah, lineage of David by blood. Can't nobody tell me who I am or not. Why? Because I have the right to tell you who I am. That's why. What are you talking about? You see how you don't even have to make a fight. All you have to do is know. All you have to do is know, brothers and sisters. That's what I'm saying. We have to know. Why? Because it's here. I'm bringing something back to us. I'm bringing something. It's just like the analogy in the lion's den. I done been there. I done did it. And I'm bringing something back to you that everybody can fact check. It's worth something. This worth more than gold and diamonds. You just got to imagine if your young son get this, or your young daughter, or the people that you mentoring. This is the power that we have. So when we signing things, when we operate, the shift gonna happen. We talking about a cosmic event. See, I'm gonna get into the Kheper, but see, we're talking about a cosmic event right now. What? The awakening of what? The mind. It was always death of what? The Black Messiah per se. You don't know this? See, that's why they be mad. They don't want to talk about nationality. They come with that black stuff, because off the top, it was always death of the Black Messiah. I'll be waiting for them to come with that crap. You know it and I know it. You know it and I know it. We've been woe to sleep with that black stuff. Well, according to science and law, black is death. You put death in front of everything that you say black. Why would you want to identify to something that's black and you have the right not to? Somebody talk to me.
Come on.
I hope I'm touching somebody. I don't care if I just touch one soul today. That's all I need. Because see, I'm from the city of Flint, and the city of Flint, all I need is a spark. That's what I tell people, man. Hey, I'm trying to hit a home run. Why? I might have striked out pertaining to some people so many times, but then when I hit it that one time, then what? I'm swinging.
Islam.
How? Every time out the park. Every time I'm coming to the bat, I'm trying to knock it out the park. In an analogy of what we're doing right here, we don't have no aspirations of nothing, a tittle. We have the aspirations of magnanimous. We, like you said, when we was working out earlier, what did Lamarck say? The BBT is like the Batman signal. So if that's the Batman signal, you can see that from state to state, nation to nation. If we're going to put it in an analogy of that, when the Batman signal come out, what people gather. Come on. This is us. Come on, y'all. I mean, we can walk through this whole understanding, but I'm gonna stop on page 29 and we're gonna jump into the Kheper. Because see, when we talk about the Masonic mental baptism of the Blackamoor initiate, and I'm showing you in the hieroglyphics when people don't know how to read. And you see just in the Bible, when you look at this form of baptism, you'll see this form of baptism. You can look at it right in your eyes. And so in the Masonic house, it's all there. That's why I tell people it's our keys. We can't be afraid to keys. If you want to be a part of a brotherhood, I'm telling you, to be one, you must know one. We right here. I'm telling you, brother, come home. That's what I'm telling people. If you under Christendom or and you don't understand the biblical scriptures, you can be corrected in love. If you under a certain tenet that say you outside of yourself, no matter if it's this, Al, Islam, whatever, and you confused, you can be here and be loved because we under the triple rose.
Islam.
That's what I'm telling you. It should be some things that we agree on as a people. We can't let no one strip our culture over religion. Why? Because when you start looking at things, you're like, man, this is all mine. This is all culture. And what is the culture? A brotherhood, a family, an initiation of what? Wisdom. And so when we correct in the science, y'all, my brothers and sisters, my Moorish brothers and sisters, we correct in the science. And we can go on this for a long time, but we're not. We're gonna get to the Kheper. But I will read this for because I think this is important. When we look at figures starting on page 34, y'all, and we have to do this because we have to talk about us because no one has the power to hurt you. We say we always got to illuminate spookism here at the BBT. You see that picture right there of so-called fire for Muhammad, whatever they want to say. But when you ask certain people in certain religious sets, whatever you want to call them, you know, disrespect, some say, well, that's not him. That's not him. Am I right about what I'm saying? If anybody is into the know, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay. So if that's not him, where they have here and there, and if that's not him, that Dr. York had, that a lot of other people have, that I have from the archives with him and J. Edgar Hoover, when they talking about the death of the Black Messiah, when in their Nation of Islam paper, when they said since 1930, fire for Muhammad is the Mahdi for the Christians and the Muslims. Well, before that, if that's the case, before that, who was it? Huh? Hello? Before that, who was
Waffles?
There's a lot in the background. Can somebody mute themselves?
Sorry.
But remember, in the nation, in their paperwork, because we don't have to go outside our family and love. I love all my Islamic brothers, but we should be able to have this conversation from love. In the paper, one of the laws, they say they believe in the truth of the Bible. I do too. But they say it was tampered with, and it must be interpreted by the elite. I'm paraphrasing. I'm with that. I can agree with that. Can't you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
I can agree with that. It's just like in Christianity, I said, you can't diss something that they all agree with. You can't. So if what I'm saying is the truth, I think we're being taught wrong. And so if we say this picture is not him, right? If they say that, and I don't want to get all to it, but then when you look at the other picture, because they say a lot has been said about Fire Muhammad and Elijah Muhammad, all that, you can read this for yourself, David Fard, all this stuff. But I'm telling you what people be knowing. I want to get to specifics because all this stuff is all like, I hope it's building blocks for our brothers and sisters to wake up from the physically alive but spiritually dead. I'm casting my net out, trying to love my brother and say, come home, because the religious thing is good. But if you down with reparations, we're missing something. If we can't come together and say, you know what, Sheikh is telling us right, I'm down with this. You can't get behind no Black Lives Matter movement. You can't, because it's gonna result to nothing. If you don't have no true understanding of lawful matter and what's happening with what I'm saying, clearly it's something wrong with us, and it is. And that's what I'm telling you. And it's all in the biblical scriptures. This is what I tell people. I can show you all this in the biblical scriptures. And we're trying to say this is not us. It is. The biblical scriptures is just other, how can I say, written in a form for the common man can relate to things in an exoteric mind frame. But if you an adapt, if you an initiate, if you under the right wisdom, you will understand the esoteric too. You will understand the analogy, the parable, and the symbology, and the metaphor. Why? Because the map and the guide is having study. You will understand the language. You will understand the coin. Why? Because the map and the guide is here in the study doing that in the chamber, in the adapt chamber. That's why. That's why. So you can be confident. So you can be sure when you're speaking. Why? From love and truth. Why? Because let's go to the book. Can't be denied. That's what this is what I'm telling people. Then we go with history. It can't be denied. So it can't be prejudiced. You see? It can't. We keep revealing. We got to keep pointing the finger right back to self. This is what I'm telling my brothers and sisters. Stop that hate. You got to. You're afraid to talk to your brother. Oh, it's like that. You can't turn around and like Michael Jackson say, the man in the mirror, and say, "Hold on, brother. You've been saying all this stuff for years, or Willie Lynch and all this stuff, and she just illuminated this. You don't got nothing to question. Somebody talk about some white man, the enemy, and they talk and they may be under Dianetics, and they may be under Ron L. Hubbard. I ain't saying who. You check it. You tell me if I'm saying something manufactured or I'm just blowing smoke up your you know what. Because I know who the Prophet Noble Drew Ali is. Just like my dad met some of Noble Drew Ali family people, they don't even know who he is. They don't even have the Morse Quran. What is wrong with us? But we know about something else, or we ain't never seen him, or well, I ain't never seen him. But how somebody, some God? No. And then we diss the people that look like us. We gonna diss Noble Drew Ali. We gonna diss Dr. Henry Clifford Kinley because some other goofy Negroes butt hurt. That's just the case. We might as well diss our own selves. I mean, look at the psychosis of it. I'm talking about, so nobody that look like us, it can be our liberator. That's why I keep telling y'all, always death of the Black Messiah. Nobody don't have to look like me, that don't look like me to tell me who I am. Then me and my dad should be able to have that conversation to know who we are. Especially if I'm introduced to something, then my dad and my mom going to be introduced to something. And they're going to get the same wisdom and the same education as me. Why? Because that's what this is about. Are y'all listening to what Sheikh is saying?
Islam.
This is no biasness. Family, this is what I be telling people. It's like, we are under no man. Especially no mystery man, no mystery God. We know who the prophet is. Okay, and so if this ain't for Fire Muhammad, we ain't having that discussion. Whatever. But this is cited in the Moorish pamphlet of the Moorish Science Temple of America. This man is presented in the literature as teaching Drew Ali on the ancient architecture of the Moors and its Egyptian origin. But how can he teach him on that? And Noble Drew Ali supposed to went through Egypt. Are y'all following me?
Islam.
I mean, see, a lot of stuff, I don't be getting caught up in things. I just read between lines and talk things, say, okay, well, if this the case, is that the case, is that the fact, is that the fact? And people be like, well, damn, brother, can I talk to you in private? No, let's have this discussion amongst brothers so we can really have the right, as the biblical scripture says. A wise man, a man that can make up his mind, has the right to choose. How? Wisely. Has the right to choose godly. So if something presented in front of you, right here, a clean glass and a dirty glass, it'd be easy. And brothers with a spiritual heart should be easy to see what I'm saying. This should be easy to see what I'm saying. This same David Ford, according to historical witnesses, was requested by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali to sit over the Moorish Science Temple of America as a helping guide to maintain order while the Prophet Noble Drew Ali was dealing with the law. Remember the death of Claude Green, that he supposed to have been a member. And from 1928, in October 1928. Now remember, no disrespect. In the Nation of Islam manuscript, they say since 1930. Am I right or am I wrong? They say David Ford is the Mahdi for the Christians and the Muslims since 1930. So based off this 2 years later, am I right or am I wrong? Come on now, y'all better talk to me.
Right.
Islam.
David Ford is pictured at a convention of the Moorish Science Temple of America. But then they say, that ain't him, that ain't him. Okay, when we show you the picture, it ain't the same picture as the other picture that you say ain't him. Oh, so every picture that you going to pull up your whole screen, say, that ain't him, that ain't him, that ain't him. Man, miss me with that dumb stuff. So if that's the case, I ain't got time for nobody that look like me to be playing no mystery crap with me. Blow that picture up. And it ain't no disrespect. This is what I be telling people. I said, man, why would we play this stupid game to be arguing over somebody else? And we know who the Prophet Noble Drew Ali is. You know who I am. Like this is asinine. Well, that ain't him. Well, that ain't him. Okay. Oh, so all these people back then, these people, and the Nation of Islam had this. All these people about part of the temple, all this, they lying. So everybody lying, huh? As my dad used to say, when we get caught up in our lives. So everybody lying on you, huh? Everybody that saw your stupid bleep, 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 with that 40 in your hand or whatever you're supposed to do, everybody lying. That's what we do. Am I right or am I wrong, y'all? Talk to me.
Right.
If we was in church, these Negroes would be screaming, amen, while the preacher lying to you in his private chat, saying how he hate all y'all. Everything he talk about, he doing. See, this is what I be telling us. We have to talk this because this is liberation. All of it's going to lie to you. Everybody back then, they know we were Moors. They know we were Moors. I just told you, both sets, from Muslims to the so-called Hebrew Israelite brothers and the Freemasons, they know it. How they don't know it? Because the European Mason know it. I just told y'all. So I just gave y'all 3 sets that the Negroes act like they don't know. And in academia, because all my academias know it. Who? Peter Moon, another European professor at Ohio State, Spencer Dew, wrote the book, The Aliyhites. Pull it up. Pull it up if you. So if this the case, why do all other people write about our prophet? Hell, Peter Moon, which is his pen name, wrote a book called Spondu Mystery with all them damn U.S. war generals with the prophet right on the front cover. And then I tell people to read the preface and see how powerful that book is. And when you see people with the reviews in it, and you see who the people saying the reviews, they saying the reviews to keep your ass away from it. Excuse my candor. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I know. I hope brothers is listening. If you want to hide something from a person, you put it in a what? You know. And then they said in a Buzz Anderson, 1971, Elijah Muhammad said he ain't know what the D stood for. This is one of the names of W. Fire Muhammad went by. That's what they say. It is the same man, David Ford, W.D. Fire, that is witnessed in 1929 Moorish Science Annual National Convention as saying he would bring America to his knees for the death of Noble Drew Ali and the attacks made on the Moorish Science Temple by local police in 1929. That's what they say. A month later, the market crashed, blah, blah, blah. So go down to the picture. Let's read the caption. For all my Masonic brothers, I say all this stuff can be easily fact checked. I told you. My European colleagues will say, Mason, that they say they know that they are son of a Muslim. But why a misnomer black Mason would tell you or her or she that they a widow's son? That don't even make no sense. And we play that stuff and we play that game and they laugh. They say, how are you a widow's son? Well, you would talk some old barbershop talk that you heard that they be passed down to black people in Prince Hall and they don't even make no sense, but you'll roll with it. You okay with being a sardine? You okay with it? You okay with it? And don't even catch it. You like Amos and Andy. You like Kingfish. Y'all they don't even catch what I'm talking about. Your Masonic thing ain't nothing but a stooge. I'm trying to tell you, man. This is from love. And so when you see all the brothers that's under the ancient rite of myth, the Mystic Noble Shrine in the 1914, and this would be passed down to us. That's why I say I love all my brothers. Family, I have the charter. This is what I'm saying. I'm your brother. Just like the prophet was doing, just like everybody's like, you talk about what the prophet was trying to do. Yes, the right way. When you do it the right way, can't nobody stop what you're doing the right way. Why? And whatever happened in the midst of me doing that, I'm okay with whatever. I just told everybody, whatever happened in the midst of this, I'm okay with it. But listen what it says. And listen to the date. Listen to the date of the start of this Masonic ancient rite of nobles of the Mystic Shrine. And then you look up the documents of what our brothers have. You like, well, 1914. But then you look at 1893. That's a long time before. Now keep that in your hippocampus. So as I'm reading the picture, pull the page down a little bit so y'all can see the whole picture. This is what I'll be saying about us as a people. Look at all those brothers and sisters from different areas with different headdresses on. I showed y'all the chosen ones when they was Hebrew, the more Zionist Jews. I showed y'all all history where them brothers came together. If you read the book, if you have the book, they had their parades, they had their bands and all that. You think these brothers was doing things by themselves? No, they was coming together under culture. Look at all them brothers and sisters from all different areas. Moors, no matter if you Morisco or Moradine, meaning if you under the so-called inner truth of the Islamic studies, or you a commandment builder under the inner truth of what Wentworth Matthews was teaching and Rabbi Mordecai, the same one, and Abdullah. Remember when everybody talk about Neville Goddard, the European that everybody say the esoteric, smart, all this? Well, he was trained and educated by who? Abdullah, who? The Ethiopian rabbi. I showed y'all all this. The more. This should be checked. People should be right here. I'm not in the flesh. What are we talking about? You see? So what we dissing? We dissing ourselves. Are y'all listening to what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I hope we are. We are not each other's enemy. That's what I've been trying to tell people. They're like, Sheikh, you need to put that on a shirt. We are not each other's enemy. How could we be? Like me and my dad say, we don't let somebody throw a line down our back and confuse us and talk about our language is messed up. You speaking in bad. No, it ain't. We all got different languages. If we're from a different area and we can all speak our languages, what are you talking about? If we're traveling and doing business, our elders is there to teach us the language because we're doing business with each other. You have to understand that. That's why in ancient times, you really couldn't tell an Egyptian from a Hebrew just of the cloth of their clothes. Because if you strip us down, we all look the same. Come on, man, y'all got to know this. So Master Fard Muhammad under the alias, David Ford, picture in the upper left-hand corner. There are many Masons. There are many Masons. There are many Masons. So when people be dissing Masonics, no, we just taught the wrong way. We just talk that black stuff. And I told you, according to science and law and Masonic science, black is dead. You buried in a shallow grave. And I can show you biblically that same killing of who? Haram Mabith. By the three Jews. By the three Jews in the Bible. In the Bible. So what I'm saying is I'm not dissing nobody. I'm showing that, come on, we've been taught wrong. And if people don't accept what I'm saying, we'll still be choosing to walk under a spell. It's like giving our kids rat poison. You know, and we passing it down. It said there are many Masons shown in this picture. So if it's many Masons shown in the picture, just like they be saying these fraternities good and this Masonic order is good, people don't be knowing their daddy or their auntie or their mama or their brother, their cousin is a damn Mason until they die. Like it's some secret. And I say, I told you, ain't nothing secret with me. It's sacred. The keys is right here. The prophet was here to remove the veil of the religious dogma and the so-called secret societies. Same thing we doing here. I'm showing y'all it's yours. And it's only elementary science. Once we start putting our dollars behind what we know and have a voice, then it start things happening. I keep telling us the religious laws trump everything else that you may think out your hippocampus. You got to understand that. When you have an understanding about organization, and then brothers that might look like me and you understand the understanding of fraternal order, understand of choosing and writing right who you are, understanding choosing where to decipher your money, because you got the right where to distribute your taxes. It's a percentage in each state. If you're going to give it to your religious and charitable contribution, or you're going to give it to Uncle Sam. These is the things that we have to understand. So when you're looking at this science, it's telling you that the Masons and the secret societies, particularly what? The ancient Egyptian Arabic order of the nobles of the mystic shrine. And if the prophet was able to do all this back then, why we can't do it today? And this was started by Noble Ali Raphael Pasha and John George Jones in 1893. And you don't even hear about this, but you sure hear about 1914 and you hear about Duncan's Mason Manual. No disrespect that the misnomer Negroes have. I won't even go all the way there with it. I'll go there, they'll be like, well, how you know all this? Because I know. I keep telling y'all, my professor is a potentate from GCU, and he a Jew, just like Hakeem Bey that wrote all the Moorish journals. That's why I be laughing. I be like, man, y'all have no idea. You know, I be like, we don't have no idea. We just gonna get abused by who our own people. Just like when I be talking about who not Atlantis of a latter days. Yeah, the Masonic book where the European call itself what? El Elyon, Noble Alonzo.
El Elyon.
I'm telling you. And then right in the preface of the book, you be like, damn, this sounds like the mystery systems. You be like, this sounds like what Sheikh talking about. You be like, this sounds like what Moses was teaching the people. You be like, oh, wait a minute. You just dissing it because your language is off. You don't have a brother that's almost per se getting on a titty per se. I can do that with my people. It's worth something. We don't have to be throwing rocks at each other. We are not each other's enemy. I be hearing brothers that be debating each other, talking about, well, Dr. Ben was my teacher. Well, how the hell is Dr. Ben your teacher? And Dr. Ben talk about the African Christianity, talk about the Moors history, legacy, all that. How? And you dissing Moors, and you dissing any type of science, any type of craft. And he telling you, dude, you just not adapt to the wisdom. You dissing something that you don't know is yours. That's an idiot. That's an idiot. I'm showing you the gathering of us. This is the United of Asia. Look at the picture. That's why I'm saying how powerful this is. If the prophet done this back then with people that have less than what we have today, because we got way more than what they had back then. Why? Because everybody in their closet probably got $10,000 worth of clothes. I shop at Ross, so my clothes I got on $10 worth of clothes. Hey, Elijah. And when I be talking, I be having people cracking up. They're like, man, why? I said, it's going to take y'all for us to do it. But I'll be honest. I say, dude, I shop at Ross. They be like, you fly. I said, yeah, I'm in shape. The wisdom, I got a halo on me. It ain't about that. Right. But I'm just being silly. But these are the Mystic Shrine. Started in 1893. And what do we have? Some modern. All my Masonic brothers have some modern from somebody that don't look like them. Isn't that ironic? These secret societies played a major role. Listen to this. In the events during the late 20s and 30s, in the governmental changes in America that have great importance to the events happening presently in the respect to the subject of reparations and the New World Order. Man, so nobles, so we talk about all the way back then to reparations. And I tell y'all, no Negro, Black, or color, or Afro-American is going to get no reparations. I don't care if you hire Ben Crump. You know, and y'all know who Ben Crump is. If you don't, Ben Crump is the misnumbered Black attorney, lawyer, whatever you want to call him, that be defending everybody. And I'm telling you, from law, no Negro, Black, or color is going to get no reparations. If a lawyer come in his face and he'll be lying to you, and I'll tell you he a liar. In that context, I'm showing y'all we should have the discussion, especially all these Moors, especially all my Hebrew Israelite brothers. I just told you, how can you be under the craft of Hebrew Israelite and your ancient brother, your originator, your elder, understood his Moorish legacy? Somebody crazy. Are y'all listening to what she's saying?
Islam.
How can a Mason? How can a Moor? How? It's right in your face. The craft is yours. And then when a brother come under it, brother want to say, oh, he ain't nothing but a Shriner. Yeah, I am the shrine. That's what I be telling people. Yeah, I am initiated through the wisdom. Why we diss our brother? It's like we are some of the most craziest people. Other people use our science for wisdom, and then we a person go, he think he all that. No, I don't. You do. Oh, he think he's something because he wrote some books. Yeah, I did write some books. I wrote the wisdom. When Europeans do it, oh, he's so heavy. We buying books from Europeans. That shit don't mean nothing. Like brothers be getting Zachariah stitching with that Anunnaki crap. These people in the flesh is 32 and 33 degrees snowman Freemasons. If they was alive, they'd be like, well, your Sheikh right there. They wouldn't be able to say nothing. I'm being honest and I'm being sincere. Look at y'all face. It played a major role in the New World Order. Look what I'm talking about. So if all this is happening in, and we got the Nation of Islam and all this, and I done showed y'all this was passed out to the Nation of Islam in the 30s and then reissued in the 60s. What we out here doing? And then I showed you the commandment builders, the More Zionist Temple of the Jews. Then I show you all that. Then I can go and show you your Egyptian brothers and all that. You'll be like, or your brothers that are the real Jews, the Igbo and the Igbo. And man, then we'll be like, man, here in America, which we have a brother that's teaching, that's educated, that done the things that we put other people on the pedestal, we still ain't gonna support it. Just like somebody said, you have your information going on the bottom of your page every day, Sheikh. This is what somebody said. Do people give you donations every time they come? I said, well, are you asking me? Are you interviewing me? They said, yeah, don't lie. I said, hell no. I just be honest. And people be looking at the platform like, all this you do, they like, do they know you went to academia? Do they know you lectured on college? Do they know you from Flint, Michigan? You lost your brother. Do they know you go to the prisons? Do they know you had unions, used to fly to Vegas and do stuff for people? Do they know how much people you help? They're like, and I tell people like this, we have to be okay doing it. Because when one doing, they feel good, the other feel good. And we tell other people, and then it becomes a domino effect. This is what I'm telling people. If it's something good and you tuning in every day, people should be doing something. People should be doing something. Why? Because you will go to church and do it. You'll go to church and dress your kids up in them Steve Harvey suits. Yeah. That's why I tell people, it's like, come on, man, we can do some magnanimous things. But look at this. Look at the picture of Elijah Muhammad in the feds, y'all. Look at this as my note will show y'all this. I want to show y'all this a highlight. We on good time. Again, according to many research accounts, this man was a very mysterious man. But if y'all got the documents, you'll be able to read up on what I'm saying. The book, The Message to the Black Man and Our Savior Has Arrived by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad gives the best depiction of his coming purpose. And the point here is the subject of reparations. But I showed y'all, just like he wrote books, Eat to Live, when you read Halil, everything's in the biblical scriptures. Don't let nobody come to you with no crap. Why? Because we talking about kosher. That's just English. But in our vernacular, in more Latin, with kosher. What? The way the animal is killed. Same thing what they talking about. And so when they talking about the Eat to Live, you're just talking about a kosher diet or a kosher diet based off biblically. I know what I'm talking about. You can't come and tell me I'm wrong. You can't come tell me I'm wrong. You can be upset, and that's okay. Just like when I talk about herbology for home study. I love Dr. Sebi. I love all that. But I say all my muftis, y'all know, we got the manual. I live the manual. And I'm older, and I'm old enough to be a lot of people daddies that be on my page. And they be like, damn, you about to what? I run 10 miles every day. I do 1,000 push-ups and burpees every single day. Every day. And I ain't bragging. I'm just saying. I put it all on me. That's why I be telling a lot of my friends and family, I say, I have to be strong for my mom and my dad, the ones that support me, and for y'all. That's why I'm strong. That's why I be saying put it all on me. Our floodgates should be open. Because if our floodgates overflowing, everybody know what I'm going to do. Why? Because y'all see me doing it now. Don't nothing change. That's what I be telling people. You got to see what a person doing before they get all what they say that they want from the creator. And when they get it, the true selves come out. Y'all got to understand why. Because you got to be doing that already. No matter how small it is. If I say I'm a singer, I ain't gonna say, I got to have a bunch of money to sing. I'm singing everywhere I can go. I might pay somebody for me to come sing. If I say I write the book and the Holy Spirit gave me some divine intervention and some divine wisdom and to save me and this stuff saved me and I can buy clothes and I can do extracurricular activities, you think I can't write my manual and invest in the wisdom? All my people should be supporting. And if all my people support it, all the money will go to the physical temple. We'll have temples in everybody's state. That's what I'm saying. The change have to come. Like my dad said, I got to break the cycle. Someone got to be able to break it. Someone got to be able to hit the rock and say, boom. It has to. We don't put faith in other people. Come on, man. Hold me accountable. Hold me accountable, y'all. But when you look at this stuff, watch this. I want to fast forward it. When you talk about misnomer black, Islam had impacted the black youth tremendously. It is in this respect that I feel we need a further analysis of what he taught and why, how it is impact America and misnomer black people and what we can draw from it for our benefit. And that's what I say too about everything. As a teacher, you have to look at everything and what I say, get what you can get out of it and throw away the rest. But you can't diss something if it's wisdom there. If you throw everything out, then I'm telling you, you're not a philo. And that person be like, what's a philo? I ain't no philo. Yeah, because you're not introduced to the wisdom. You ain't under a teacher. You would be like, absolutely, I'm a philo. You won't even know. You won't have no idea. So you would throw it all out. And there's wisdom in there. It's wisdom in the Book of Mormon. It's wisdom in the demonology of King James. It's wisdom in things, but you don't know it. On all the important subjects of reparations and nation building, the early years of the Nation of Islam saw the continuance of similar. This is so powerful for all my brothers. Listen, let me reverse this because we setting the precedent. Thank you for the donation, brother, whoever you are. I appreciate it. The early years of the Nation of Islam saw the continuance of similar nationalizing processes that the Moorish Science Temple of America had initiated. So the word initiated meaning what? We started something, or it's a process of how we do things. Am I right about it?
Right. So if I initiated this, no matter if it was point A, how I described it, or point B, how I described it, making members officially, listen to the science of this. For all my brothers that be talking that 14th Amendment stupid stuff and talk about, well, Noble Drew Ali said this, you lying on the prophet. Listen what I'm saying. Making members officially not subject
14th Amendment subject citizens of the United States, but members, citizens of the, listen to what this, Nation of Islam under the status of Muslim. So did you hear the a little bit of the same, but some you ain't heard before? Because the last statement you heard, but a little bit, but the statement before you ain't heard. What happened to it? It's just like when I deal with my Jehovah Witnesses, and they got the book that a lot of wisdom took out of, and I got the original manuals. When I say stop playing with me, y'all know why HWH and why the name is important. Well, no, what can you expound on it? And they be looking like, and then a lot of my Jehovah Witness friends be like, you need to stop. You need to stop before I pull out. And then when I pull out the manual, that's all falling apart, which I done laminate 13,000 times. They be scared. Like, how did he know this? They're like, well, I just told you. That's Melchizedek. No disrespect. I have to know this. I'm trying to resurrect my people. I'm not going to let no religion separate me from you. I have a clear understanding of what you talk about, but let me show you where you've been missed at. Your whole culture, your whole understanding. Your whole understanding. Your whole understanding. That's all. And the Holy Spirit should be able to resurrect you, because you can't deny what I'm saying. Especially if you got the same book in my hand. And if you're a historian teaching anything dealing with civics, you clearly got to rock with what I'm saying. And you might not want to, but based on law, based on things that people can agree with, no matter what color they are, we can get referees and they can say, okay, well, let's have a quiz bowl on what this brother's saying. I bet you I'll win every time with flying colors, because I done it in academia. That's how I know. That's how I know. And I'm not being big-headed. That's why I can talk with sureness. And it ain't arrogant. Only Negroes will say that. He cocky, he arrogant. But in the other field, when I deal with Europeans and Jews and all them people and the European Masons, they say, you just confident, sir. Why? Because you've done the work. Just like when you're dealing with a doctor and he say, well, I'm doctor such and such. He's not being arrogant. Damn it, he telling you he doctor. When you in need, you gonna call him doctor. You ain't gonna call him such and such. Oh, so then that's who he is in all life. Stop playing. You see, this is the respect level that we should have for those that's like that. I'm not going to die pouring broke. Why should I? I should have to die like Dr. Ben. Think about these things. And everybody say this was that. We got to support what's right that can make that shift. But we not subject 14th Amendment, subject citizens of the United States. But they say they members of the Nation of Islam under the status of Muslims. That's why the BBT is set up the right way. We are fraternal order. You say it. Can't nobody say you this or that. The Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15, clearly says you have a right of a nationality and a right to change it. All the stuff that we said that we done said a plethora of times is in your face. And they had ID cards. So if what I'm saying ain't relevant, why did they have ID cards? Why? And then they say in the article, Muhammad Speaks newspaper dated April 11th, 1969, cited clarification of the action taken by Messenger Muhammad against Muhammad Ali's action. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad states in reference to the identity passes. The government of America has known this law of Allah, God, for many years. The law is to take the identity cards away from you. This is written on the identity card in red letters. Mr. Cassius Clay did not have one of these cards. And then he said, it is good that he did not have one. Nevertheless, we carry the principle into practice. So now let's have a dialogue. Why do you think, or watch and use your brain, because I'm gonna break it down for you in wisdom and make you think, be like, yeah, that make a lot of sense. Because Negroes would do some of the most outlandish, stupid stuff. Watch this. It says, the law is to take the identity cards away from you. It said, this is written on the identity card in red letters. Mr. Cassius Clay did not have one. You're talking about Muhammad Ali, of these cards. It is good that he did not have one. Nevertheless, we carry the principle into practice. Why you think that statement is not hate? Anybody can just come from wisdom or nothing. There's no wrong answer.
The fact that if Muhammad Ali had a car at the time, of course, he would have flashed it, shown me.
Alonzo, what you say?
He would have definitely flashed that card.
Huh?
And our prophet told us that your card is for your own salvation. It ain't
Huh?
for all of that other stuff.
See, no matter how you puffed up, and no matter if you're the heavyweight champion, that don't matter. I'm telling you, when you talk about our divine creed and our proclamation, when I say, man, I'm still in elementary wisdom. I'm still dealing with a schoolmaster. I ain't even with into that wisdom. I be giving people manuals. I be giving people how the temple is set up. I give people the how the temple was set up from the CCRD. I show you that the 1099 ain't no trust fund at the end of the rainbow. I'm showing people this. I'm showing people this. I'm giving it right in a person's hand. The court should be done. All we need people to is just to support. Because what he's saying, if Muhammad Ali had a car like most of these Negroes do, how they follow somebody on the internet talk about, I got nationalized this and I'm a foreign national, you would be getting pulled over acting like these, and you might get your head bust wide open. You might get away, but it's more probable back then to get your head bust wide open to the white meat. And I said it's more probable back then that every time you play some of that stuff, you get your head bust wide open to the white meat. So this is what I'm saying. And he said they practice it to this day. We practice it. Your idea for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequences. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these orders are violated, justice must then take its course. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans because they cause confusion. If you don't want to obey these laws, turn back to the state where I, the prophet, found you. Return your car, your fez, your turban, and go back to being a you-know-what. That's just paraphrasing. That's just how your own declaration and proclamation can be used against you to convict you in a court of law. And when you doing all this premature stuff, these people know. They know, but it was turned upside down on brothers. It was turned the crescent and the star was turned on you, and then what? Black. Brothers and sisters, I love all y'all. If I had an educated brother on here, he was through the nation, and he can be honest, I'll say, okay, Farrakhan is a cool dude, just like I'm a cool dude. But when have most misnumbered black people heard of the Willie Lynch? A lot of brothers heard that in 1995 at the Million Man March, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's long.
Okay. So if that's the case, and you a student at the BBT from love, from truth, from peace, from freedom and justice, divine creed and nationality, if you under that and you have a sound mind and you hear as a student and the more understanding who you are, you have to be like, well, Sheikh is a liberator. Because Sheikh just showed us from academic, from scholarship, that there ain't no damn such thing as no Willie Lynch letter. It ain't one. So every rapper done rap that about every so-called God man that done got in front of millions of people and said, this is the reason why we ain't no worse than no other race of people. And it ain't no such thing as no Willie Lynch letter. If it was a Willie Lynch letter, my brothers and sisters, and I'm telling you out of the sound of my mouth, it will be in the Library of Congress.
Facts.
And this is what I tell my brothers. This is no slander to no brother or no sister. I keep telling people, I said, we are woe to sleep. We have the right to check people with the right science. I'm here in the flesh. I told you I give my life for what I believe. No weapon formed against me will prosper. None. I'm fully armed. I tell people this is the truth, and the truth will what? Make you free. You can't be afraid of the truth because the truth should be liberating. You should be turning back like the man in the mirror and be like, Sheikh is bringing something. He's synchronizing something. Decalcifying the eye. I'm showing you how can we have this? So it ain't no disrespect. And these individuals are so-called heavy in wisdom per se. Now you can be sincere and you can be sincerely wrong, but are you going to admit your sincerity? Because we'll show admit it when we think we got it right. But we will admit when we got it wrong, and it can be proven you got it wrong through scholarship. And I can show you where all this stuff, this European, this Albion, this Trelodike, from no disrespect, come from, and how they let misnomer black people have stuff. That's a fallacy. And this is no disrespect to no one. I'm telling everyone that it ain't no such thing as no Willie Lynch letter. It ain't one. Never one be. And black was never used to describe ethnicity in first century. Ain't no first century slave talk about no Willie Lynch. Did you think Frederick Douglass talk about Willie Lynch? Did you think Godfrey Higgins talk about some Willie Lynch or any first century history scholars and writers that I already showed talked about some Willie Lynch? No, because we didn't identify to that. I told y'all, just like Roots, we have to clear our own house up. Alex Haley plagiarized it. It's from a European named Harold Colander. So if all this stuff that we hold dear to as a people, a misnomer Black people, that we say this is us, and it can be proven without a shadow of doubt, if we was in a court of law, to be factual, what do misnomer Black people have to stand on? Well, we just feel the concept still is right. That's some of the stupid stuff. How you gonna defend a lie? And that's the psychosis of misnomer Black people. You would defend a lie. You can't defend something that has no defense. It's not real. It's not like the whole defense is made up of hogwash, because what you defended has no matter. That's the psychosis of what I'm saying, man. And so when we deal with the 4th of July, when we deal with the Independence Day, when we deal with this event, this day of the Kheper, these people knew this science. I'm telling y'all, it's all in the Masonic houses. You let these figures get on the internet and talk about some fake alien and somebody got some power over you. That's hogwash. That's hogwash. All hogwash. All spookism. All niggerdom. Excuse me. That's what it is. It's all hogwash. I'm telling you, big facts. It's all hogwash. It's all your science. And it's a level of wisdom. It's a level of linguistics. When you understand all science, I understand the Gnosticism. I know how somebody can speak out of matter and get a person that's not out of matter caught up in what matter. It's very simple. But we don't play semantics here. We talk about things that's valuable and bringing us together and showing that the science for a group of people, they took this wisdom and used it and then tricked a lot of people up. Some people got paid. In all sets of what I'm saying. So when we talk about the July 4th, the significance date given as the founding of the Nation of Islam by Master Fard Muhammad in the ancient history, is an astrological day. When you see everybody on the 4th of July on Instagram, because you know Negroes, they all do niggerdom. They always want to be funny. They think Christianity or the biblical scriptures is a white man or whatever. And then they show them wiping their butt with the flag. I see a lot of that goofy stuff. But then these brothers be having all this Egyptian chains on and a kai and all that stuff and ankh and all this stuff and talk about all this Egyptian stuff and then stoop down to dogmatic perspective because they don't know the cosmic event because you don't know who you are. And that explains it. That's why I say we just playing. Negroes just buying stuff off Amazon. I'm telling you, it's meaningless. If we were the ancient days, man, you get your stuff from a Sheikh, you get your stuff from a holy man. Why? Because he's anointed it. Me and my dad were just talking about that. If I come to people's houses, they should want me to have a piece of fluff from their home. Why? So it can be prayed on. So it can be that hoodoo can be on it. Our culture, the Santeria, the Orisha, that our voodoo, our culture can be put up on it. That's why. The anointing of who? The head. It's like when you say, well, we got to go to the community. Why? Because the medicine woman or the medicine man. We're talking about an astrological event. The Kheper, the dung beetle, is the Discyrus over the head of the Pharaoh. We're talking about the anointing. We're talking about a cosmic event. The Kheper, the hieroglyphic symbol of the dung beetle, holds the solar disk. Thanks for the donation, bro. Man, people crazy. He like, man, y'all send that brother some donations. You said, I said, we all said, but the beetle was the sign for Cancer, y'all, before the crab. So when you know, like me and my dad talk about things that's before this, if we are philosophers and we dealing with reason and we in the chamber and we both know something's before that, then we both are reasonable people say, well, this is before that. We have to go with the oldest because we're doing the research. The astronomical and the astrological sign of Cancer is from approximately June 21st to July 21st. Now let's watch this science that a lot of people miss because they don't want you to see the alchemy. They don't want you to see the astrological signs. They don't want you to see the constellations in the biblical scriptures. But in the Bible, what? The Creator named all the heavens and in the earth, and all the constellations is named in the Bible. Am I right about it, Noble Alonzo?
Islam.
That's why I be laughing at us. I be like, oh man, I don't be want to, like I said, I only debate my equals. Everybody else I teach. And I say, man, I don't want to embarrass my brothers. I don't want nobody to be opening their mouth from ego and everybody know, be like, man, please don't do that. We should know that. I'm trying to bring brothers and raise them up to be greater than I. But we got to have a foundation before we can do that. The foundation has to be planted with the brothers and sisters, understanding what we're doing. Because everyone know on here the wisdom that we distributing, the wisdom that we're illuminating, most people never heard of it. And the ones that may hear it, that's Masons and older elders in Islam and the NOI, they know what it is. And them Hebrew Israelite elders, they know. The solar disk held by the dung beetle is not representing the sun, which they tell y'all. So if that's the case, y'all, and you say, well, yes, it is. And we say, well, no, it's not, brother. We're talking about ancient wisdom. We're talking about the science that's going to get us there, not what you may been told or watered down. That's not going to sprout to anything. But it represents the sun. The beetle is not representing the sun, but the star Sirius. The star Sirius. It is on July 3rd through 5th that Sirius is aligning directly with the sun and earth. See? And they taught this where? In the nation. That's what I told y'all. If y'all heard it, when they said, well, they don't know when it will stop. What these teachings that Sheikh doing. And if they come with that red book that was given to the nation of Islam in the wilderness from Far Muhammad, no disrespect, we're going to clean that up too. Because it need a lot of cleaning. We ain't talking about no tradition. I ain't arguing with nobody tradition. But when you saying the mathematics, men lie, women lie. Numbers don't lie. Letters don't lie. We're going to deal with the science with my compass and square. And we're going to deal with the right answer. 2 + 2 is 4. It ain't 3. To get to Friday, you got to get through Thursday. Anything else is a court gesture. We ain't dealing with no court gestures over here. See? We ain't dealing with nobody selling no snake oil. Oh, I got this magic pill. I got this juice. You're going to drink this. You're going to be right. And you eat McDonald's hamburgers every day. Go on with that. You've been working out for damn near 20 years and you ain't lost no weight. Something's wrong and you don't want to come to the BBT. And you see all of us working out and we elders and we all got 6-packs. We changing our lives. This is the real thing. It is the center of the 70-day period of disappearance from the heavens, y'all. Think about this. This was a special spiritual time period in the ancient Moorish nation. What? Egypt, tomorrow. It's the astrological positioning of the planets, the sun, and this star at the center of the universe is a time of special spiritual force that affects what? All events on earth. And what events and what affects all events on earth, y'all, in our other perspective of things that we can agree on when we talk about subjective and objective. What does law do? What does law do?
Govern all events.
Governs all events.
You see what I'm saying, y'all? So we have to agree to something. And that's what I be telling brothers. I'll be like, what's wrong with us? Like me and my dad were just talking about, like we are a beast. When I tell y'all you can get good things from things that you may not think is right, like the Negro is a beast that the European wrote. You can get some good things out of that. To debate on, to talk about, to rise above, but you never know how somebody else think about you. You see? Because you ain't in that realm. I'm telling you. Everybody use their dollars to make something. I told y'all, most misnomer black people love Scarface. Somebody that look like, oh, it's gangster. Then they love Sopranos. And I said, okay, well, I asked every Negro that watched Sopranos, do y'all see what's going on with the Sopranos? What do you mean? They are some gangsters? I said, yep, stupid. And somebody else, do you see what's going on with the Sopranos? No, I know. You don't see what's going on with the Sopranos and how they all under a form of religion. And how every time they do something, they go be able to say something to the priest and nothing never happened. You don't see everything ran through the church. You don't see that. You don't see that. Nope. because you don't know how the church is tackling in for everything, because you don't know the power that we have. You don't know that your religious laws trump everything. We don't know that. We're the only group of people that's not operating the way we're supposed to. And it's given to us, and we have to choose it. And we right here, and we choosing not to. We choosing not to support nothing that's give everything away to Uncle Sam. We choosing not to. This is a choice. It is coincidental that America was founded on the date, July 4th, 1776. Don't y'all know that? And then I showed you. Remember the Battle of Bunker Hill? Remember I showed y'all in academia. I showed y'all where on that boat they whitewashed Prince Wimple and Oliver Cromwell out of it. They whitewashed them out. I showed y'all this in academia, the little red book they give all your kids in school when they be dealing about America and all this. And I say, well, where Peter Salmon, and Oliver Cromwell, the Moors. We don't have to go to nobody else that don't look like us to tell us this. I've been doing this for years. I've been doing this in academia. And that's how Master Farrar announced the Independence Day of so-called us on July 4th, 1930. How? Because he knew something, just like Abraham Lincoln knew something. That's what I keep telling y'all. That's why I be like, it's like, ooh, it's easy for somebody to get you and do all this. How? Because if they know your shit, excuse my candor. The same way I couldn't be shut down. I'll tell you what anti-Semitic came from and who made it up. I use their encyclopedia. I can go on anybody's show and ain't no disrespect. You a Jewish rabbi gonna say, well, he anti-Semitic saying, no, you ain't. I'm be like, man, that's hogwash from love. And I'm gonna use your books and we're gonna have a discussion and anybody can be the referee. And I guarantee you, we win if on any discussion with flying colors. Guaranteed. They might not show up. I'm telling you what I know. So if I know this and I'm a liberator for my people, and I'm telling you, we have the right to stand strong. We have the right not to assimilate. We have the right to choose who we want. We have the right to wear our regalia. We have the right to support someone. All our people have to do is support if you say you like it, because people be tuning in all the time. And I'll be like, if I'm so great and if I'm so worse, why we show up here all the time? If I'm so great and I'm so worse, because people show up to the clubs and pay all the time, go home, talk about the watered down drinks and go right back to that mug each week. Why? If we're Moors, they always say, well, I don't got nothing. When I get something, I donate. Why not put none of that to altar? But when we go to church, we give. I have to say this. It's like automatic in our DNA. Church, I give. Why don't we give to this? And we show up every time. Somebody talk to me. Why we show up and what we throw out, our nets come back the same way you do when we throw it out? Why? Why don't people spread it? What's the problem? As my dad always say, well, y'all don't trust me, especially for the same people that's here. Well, you don't know no other people like you. You ain't spreading it. They ain't coming. What we doing? We Ninja Turtles. That's what I ask my brothers and sisters as we deliver a lot of wisdom. Because it took a lot of study. It took a lot of time and finances to do this work. We can't just give it to entertainers and athletes and in the dispensary and the stores. We can't just give it all to like that and then profess who we are, our culture, because that ain't our culture. The Ish, the Moorish, the Jewish, the Ish, and our culture is we split our money 3 ways. And if we say somebody, some sheikh or a teacher and all this, we support. And we try to bring people in to support too. That's what this is talking about. I can't have no Instagram, no YouTube page with a whole bunch of Moors on my page, and I ain't inviting your bleepity bleep every week. You're gonna have to tell me no. As soon as you tell me no, I'm blocking you, but you got all these Moors pictures on your page. I don't need that. That's what I be telling us. We have a purpose. That's why I tell all my moochies, come on YouTube too. Ask these people questions like, what is our purpose? Treat me just like anything else. This is a special event. This is a special cosmic event, what I'm doing for y'all. Yesterday was a special cosmic event. We talk about the Cyrus mysteries. And if the same thing with Moses understood in the biblical scripture. All the wisdom. This is what I'm telling y'all in the flesh. It was reestablished by the family of Amram. Y'all know how we talk about the 18th dynasty of Egypt? That's Moorish Israel. That's Moorish Israel, the world's first monotheistic culture of the present age of history. That's what when I tell people, we not dissing nothing, we resurrecting. I tell everyone we are under the triple rose. Me and my muftis and my brothers and sisters, we have a clear understanding of all three religious rights. We have a clear understanding. But what we're not going to tolerate is no shirk, because we don't believe in nothing outside of ourselves. And no true God, man, is going to teach you anything outside of yourself. Because if they do, it's not from God. That's why. That's why. That's why. This is what I tell people. This is what we're supposed to be doing. Man, we're supposed to be spreading this. We're supposed to be in the chamber. We're supposed to be having a temple in Flint, Michigan. We're supposed to have a temple in St. Louis. Why? Because these are urban communities where my brother's at. And then we go everywhere else. We go where the need was at. This can happen. This can happen fast. Everybody got some more. You got to imagine if what? Say what? I say 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 15 more had 20 people. That's 300. Am I right? Am I right? Right? Talk to me. Somebody talk to me. That's 300. 300 one time, $1,000 or $100 a month at the end of the year. That's 300 grand. We have to be able to talk about money. That's why everybody be like, oh, you can't talk about, why we can't talk about money? Money is not the root to all evil. A fool is. Somebody give me Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 19. Wine is made for laughter, but money trumps all. That's your Bible. You gonna let some jackleg goofball tell you that all money you should have? I ain't asking for no money, because I'm just as a part of everything else. But I'm saying in one calendar year, that small tittle of people on a mission and giving a small fraction of money, to something that's real, and they get a tax-exempt receipt, can gross $300 at the least in $300,000 at the least in one calendar year. In one calendar year. And just imagine it's steady coming in like that. And you got other donors maybe giving 40 or less or more. That's how I'm telling you how money be accumulated that fast. That's how I'm telling you we can do something, and we can't be afraid to talk about money. Why? Because everybody that's working right now, if you ain't supporting your religious and charitable contribution of your choice, you are giving your money away to Uncle Sam. So don't sit up here and talk about what we don't have. We're giving it away willingly. These is facts. I just told you it's a percentage of your money before taxes that you can give to your religious and charitable contribution of your choice. And then if you're working with your temple and school, you get in-kind service. People don't even know what the hell I'll be talking about. And if you want to take it all the way further, if you retire, you can give pretty much what the hell you want to whatever organization you want. You might have to monetize it, but you should have umbrellas in that organization to do the right thing. This is what I'm telling you. And it ain't doing nothing illegal. It's doing the right thing just like everybody else is doing. Because we tax exempt for the federal government. This is what I'll be telling people. The Moorish Science Temple got a tax exempt status just like we do. We're not going to let nobody play with us. Everybody got a job. That's how you can decipher the money you're giving to Uncle Sam to your religious and charitable contribution of your choice. You don't have to do nothing extra. You would be paying your taxes per se, or deciphering what you give Uncle Sam a percentage to your religious and charitable contribution of your choice. Just think about if you are making $10 million a year and you owe Uncle Sam $1 million, and you got a whole bunch of your, say, 10 partners. You say, hey man, I like what Sheikh Goodman Bay doing, man. He an educator, out of that $1 million, we can donate $600,000 to this brother, just off the top. If people say, well, that's all I'm gonna do, and I donate to other things, fine. But we want to see this brother do things. It's that easy. In the state of California, you can give 60% of your earned income. Now, man, you got other things going on. When I teach tax laws, everybody know I'll be telling the truth. And then all my brothers under that umbrella. This is the power that we have. This is the power that can happen right now. They did it back then. And then you look at the Moorish Science Temples of America in real life, no disrespect, they all in shambles. All the ones that's supposed to have been started by the prophet with the divine creed and proclamation. Because I know the one in the city of Flint is. This ain't no disrespect to no one. That's why we're the burning bush. That's why we bringing something, and we need the support of the people. We got to spread it. This is the only way we're going to have something that everybody say what I should have. Or Sheikh, y'all should be this. We should. We need y'all. We need every more that be on that page, every 3,000 followers that I have that's there for a reason or ain't no troll. What are you here for? We should be supporting something. And getting a taxes and receipt, I can provide that. If you don't have a turban and fez, I can provide that. You don't have a library to get all your literature from, I can provide that. If you don't have nobody that do your web pages, ALO design pros can do that. We got our own herbs. We got our own Moorish haberdashery. We got our own things the people should support. And we'll use those finances what? To do everything we say. It can't just be give, family. Think about what we delivering to our brothers and sisters, this wisdom, as we close and we open it up for discussion. Because I want people to have these documents. And if people was connected, they'll have everything. You will have it because it means more when you can touch it. It means more when you can read it. You can not only save yourself, but save your family. You can be sure. And then you can come to the cipher. This is what community, this is what schools and temples, this is what this is about. The Moorish Science Temple is not no religious set or no government set. It's a temple and a school to teach people their nationality and their spirituality. It ain't nothing else. Everything else is folly what these people been came up with. If you're not an educator or a scholar like myself and others that can say everything is for educational purposes, because in different jurisdictions like states and things, you have to know that. Just like in the state of Florida, squatters have no rights. Just like a lot of stuff in Hawaii don't mean you can do it in Massachusetts. Just like you have precedent law cases, doc number, Free Information Act. All these things that you must know. You have to be well versed in these things as a professional, as an expert witness. And that's what y'all have right here. So I don't want to stay too far in the wisdom, but the Kheper is a very ancient nectar. I want us to know that as we close and as we open it up. I'll tell y'all a little bit of a key how this relates to world history. I'll give you a little information. It's a book called Know Your America. I'm on page 39, Alonzo. A suggested course in Americanism. And it's something that we read in civics class. When I talk about Charles A. Wiseman, write that name down. He wrote a plethora of books. One of the books that I love is Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit of Happiness. But I got a whole nother document that's not in a book that they teach at Harvard and Canberra that was passed down to me from my professor. That's a potentate. That's a European Jew. I'm telling you, that's the son of a Muslim because he's a Scottish Rite Mason. I'm telling you, no disrespect. That's why I'll be waiting for somebody to say something wrong. I'll be like, dude, stop lying to our people that look like us. Because the other man is not going to do it. They're a son of a Muslim. They're not going to sit up here and lie like your own brother would do. They're not. But prepared and distributed by the ancient legion, the context and the meaning of the establishment and design of the American flag. It states, by what authority our first national flag established? It was authorized by the Continental Congress. The Continental Congress. So then you got to see who was the Continental Congress. You will start seeing some things with this document and start clearing stuff up that we over the whole document before. Quote the exact language of the original flag law. Answer, resolve, the flag of the United States be 13 stripes, alternate red and white, that the Union be 13 stars, white in a blue field, representing a new constellation. What you mean? What is the significance of 13 and the new constellation? The truth of the statement rests in the secret of masonry. So for all my Masonic brothers, when I be saying a lot of stuff is wrapped up in masonry, I can go way deeper than what I'm saying. But then your brother, your uncle, your cousin, your sister that may be an Eastern Star, which is she under, no disrespect, Europeans, which is the DAR, the Daughters of American Revolution, they're not going to just say it. They're going to be quiet, or they're going to ask you who they talking to. You can tell them me. You can tell them me. And that's what I tell people. It's like, come on. And they know the secrets of masonry as an ancient secret science and the secret knowledge in religion and of Israel, God's nation, and its relation to the indigenous black man and woman of America, misnomer black, has everything to do with our true nationality, lineage, and national heritage, our identity. You know, the Declaration of Independence was also signed on July 4th in the year 1776, not by all the delegates of the colonies, but by two specific men, who, John Hancock and Charles Thompson, names familiar they should be for all my historians. These two men played pivotal roles in American government, one playing a major role in religion specifically. The activity of their actions of signing the documents are recorded in a famous material on what? Masonry and the building of the structure and government of America called what? Do anybody know? Do anybody know? Well, I'm going to tell you, it's the secret architecture of our nation's capital, and they all know it. Just like they know what the fez is in Leviticus 25 and 10. The symbology of the fez is you being stripped from your nationality. When you take the soft fez and turn it inside out, it's the Liberty Bell with the gong. They all know this. That's why they wear the fez in secrecy. That's why all Masons, they have Islam, Arabia on it. They know the science. It's a lot of symbology on the fez. I'm telling you, that's why they sons of Muslims. It's no disrespect. We need to wake up. I'm resurrecting my brothers, and everybody knows what I'm saying. The secret architecture of our nation's capital. On that day, July 4th, Congress agreed that the wording of the declaration, and it was signed by the president of Congress, who? John Hancock, who was a Mason, and the Secretary of Congress, Charles Thomas. Come on. The Mason was first signed. The Declaration of Independence would have been aware of the particular significance of the July 4th as what? A cosmic event. Listen what I just said. In parentheses, the Mason who first signed the declaration. It didn't say the man or the Harvard graduate, nothing. It said the Mason. So what I'm telling you, all Masons notice, if you say you ancient or you are ancient this, which black ain't ancient, that's why I told y'all the joke of Masonry is not the European. Because they'll tell you that they're a son of a Muslim. That's how they know this. It's the misnomer black man. So if you all say you a Mason, and I say the Mason was first signed the Declaration of Independence, would have been aware of the particular significance of the July 4th as a cosmic event. Ask me why. Say why, Sheikh. Why would they know? Say why would they be aware? Ask me. Everybody say it.
Why would they be aware, Sheikh?
Because that's what they study, damn it. Excuse my candor. This ain't complex. They be like, wait. So they Mason. Yep. So you do when they ancient, you say you ancient. All this, the black dude say you ancient, and you don't know what these Europeans know about it. Clearly, something is off. Can't be mad at what Sheik's saying. The Masons were John Hancock, Charles Thomas. Where and from whom did they gain this knowledge? Where did they gain it? Thomas was also the translator of the what? The Septuagint Bible. See, this is what people don't know. Y'all know the Septuagint. So when people be getting destroyed, I said, man, you're not going to come to Sheikh with that. Why? Because Sheikh has his degree in what? Biblical studies. That's why. That's why. And Islamic studies. And language and linguistics.
Wow.
The Septuagint Bible, from the original Greek version into English. It was the translation of the Septuagint ever done into the English language in America. So therefore, the Septuagint Bible was the so-called first Bible. They say the Old Testament ever recorded in 285 BC in Egypt under Ptolemy, Philadelphus. There were no versions of the Bible compiled in book form in any language before that time. So when people be on here arguing about some Flavia Josephus, that's the first Bible, go sit down. That's a pen name. We're not even going to have that discussion. I told y'all fallacy and just stuff that people be pumped up in their pride can get destroyed with no work. It's like, no, it's not. No, it's not. But they be so sincere, but you sincerely wrong. The oldest Hebrew version date from the findings of the Dead Sea Scroll, which date back to 150 BC through the 1st century AD. If this the time periods we got, how you going to argue with that if you're doing scholarship? If you're dealing with the pen and the common day, we're not going to be arguing with something just because you want to be arguing. I gave you all the references to research what I'm saying and then come back with wisdom. Know Your America. It's a suggested course in Americanism by the American Legion. I have the whole course. How you got the whole course, Sheikh? I just told y'all. When I was doing my academic endeavors, I've written libraries and couriers and professors that have ancient Gnostic libraries. I told you, Oxford, Cambridge, Harvard, they have Gnostic libraries in their basements. Bobby Hemmett wasn't lying to y'all when he said that. They all went to the university. C. Freeman LC, we ain't dealing with Negroes that's not academic. That's why I be laughing at people. It's a certain level and a certain way we're going to talk. Dr. Ben, John Henry Clark, Ivan Van Sertima, Sheikh Anta Diop. We talking about wisdom. We ain't talking about nobody that just read something and then want to come and know. We talk about academia to where we have to be manufactured and what? Everything and well-versed. The Declaration of Independence was not signed by all the delegates of the states until August 2nd, 1776. the secret architecture of our nation. I want us to know that. Remember, the other standard version are from the Hebrew Masoretic text from the 9th century AD. That's right, 900s AD. The importance of the Septuagint Bible is that the council who recorded the history of Israel were recording the oral traditions that had learned from the true misnomer Black Moorish Israelites in Babylon. Because how else they going to be talking about something that ain't them? I keep telling y'all, somebody telling your story. Afterwards, misnomer white Jews under the direction of Ptolemy and other Roman rulers who came later studied the lost history of the 18th dynasty that had been nearly washed away by the biblical and the Quran. The Pharaoh Ramses I and his son Seti I during the 19th dynasty of Egypt. This lost history of the 18th dynasty, the Moorish, the Israel, was used by these, no disrespect when I say this, white people, so-called Jews. I'm telling you, that's why the Bible be telling you, the Jews that say they this is not. Revelations 2:9, Revelations 3:9, and they'll tell you who they are. I don't come from no anti-Semitic, from no hate. I get my European professors. I send my European professors. Thank you, brother Nomad, for sending a donation. Honor and gratitude to you, brother Nomad. I love you, brother, and you know that. I can't wait to meet you neither. I can't wait till we do some good things together because we're going to do it. It'll only take one spark. And that's what I'll be telling people. This is what I'll be telling people, man. But to grant themselves in as the Israel and major prophets of the Bible. The prophets were really major figures of the 18th dynasty of Egypt, like Akhenaten, Moses, Solomon, and Uya, Tutmos III, and David, Abraham. These is facts. Watch, let's go deeper. A stela, a Stelae, you know, from the records of the 7th year of the rule of Imhotep II. In the biblical scripture, you may call him Saul, and his military commander, Tutmos III, Uya, or Abraham or David in Memphis. When I talk about the ancient right of Memphis and Mizraim, you see how you can't be afraid of your science and your brother is bringing it all back to you? Shows that there were 3,600 Apiri, strangers, foreigners of the captured people. David, Tutmos III, Abraham, Uya, and Solomon, Akhenaten, are recorded in the Bible as dealing with these same strangers and keeping a what? A census of them? Fact check me. There are 3,600 of the strangers recorded in 2 Corinthians, the 13th and the 17th verses of Apiru or Habiru, A-P-I-R-U or H-A-B-I-R-U, which became what? The word Hebrew. Fact check me. And when we see things and when I'm able to break things down in different manifestations, I hope people stay in context. Because in the context of Hebrew Israelite, you can't, it ain't gonna change your bloodline from who you are, a Canaanite and a Chaldean. Not no act gonna change you. So that's a whole nother talk, speaking point. But the point is that Charles Thomas, Secretary of Congress, by and through his work with his translators, his work is working with others in establishing the design of the flag and the seals bearing the pyramid, the eye of Haru, the eagle, and the significance of the 13, was very aware of these traditions. That's why I say every European Mason, they know what I'm talking about. I'm their brother. I'm Melchizedek. That's why I be telling people, I say, okay, whatever. Nobody got to believe me, rock with it. Only my people don't understand that. Their Egyptian origins and their connection to the astronomical significance of Cyrus. But then you may ask Sheikh how? Where did he get his information from? And why was it so important and instrumental in the founding of the nation that has become the most powerful nation on earth? Will we find the secret influence of the members of the descendants of the Egyptians' 18th dynasty family of Amram, the Moorish Israel, in the halls of the Continental Congress, in the establishment of America? That's a question. If so, how would the influence of misnomer Black people of this lineage in the setup of the affairs of the establishment of American government make us view everything that is operating around us in respect to government and even the past itself as it relates to the slavery period? What about our concepts of slavery? What we will find is that wars between our ancestors, and no disrespect, misnomer white people, took place after we helped them learn our science of government building, administratively and physically. Are we willing to take a closer look? Because I've done this in academia. That's why I'm saying if the people share this, this is no biasness. He said, what do you say? Keep going. Yeah, I got a little bit more time. We out of here. But prior to the adoption of the designs of the seal in 1782, the two models had been changed by Thomas. Y'all got to know that. Y'all got to know that the seal of the pyramid, though, was never cut. When we talk about the cutting of the pyramid. So I want to stop right there. I want to give y'all something to research as we closing, something that you can just think about. And I'm gonna ask y'all, have y'all ever heard of this? And you can pull it up real fast, and we can have a quick bullet on each of them. And I challenge everyone to research these because I gave these to y'all last time. Do anyone know what the papal bull is? Because me and my dad were just talking about this. It was the decree all over the world to murder your black butt, all over. And we ain't caught on yet. Do anybody know what the papal bull was?
The Papa Bull of 1492.
What was that about?
It was about when Columbus came over, apparently, and he seen all that we were here and whatnot. He went back, told them that there was savages in the land and whatnot. And the Pope, I forget his name at the time, the Pope wrote up the Papa Bull 1492, allowed them to come over and basically kill anybody who did not want to become Catholic or like accept Catholicism. Basically, just slaughter everybody who didn't look like you or who looked like you but didn't accept Catholicism. Essentially, like that's like a summary of what it was.
Islam. And it only happened to a certain area. What about the dumb diverses? Anybody know what the dumb diverses is? See why we're gonna walk. We just walking. Take your time. Somebody on my GC, they was like, man, this is more than academia. You're like, man, everybody, this is what we should do. I'm hoping we get there. I keep saying it every day. I'm hoping we get there, and it don't take a whole bunch. It takes the right hearts and the consistency. That's all it takes, and trust. That's all it takes. The dumb diverses. Somebody said the intercatera. Okay. Anybody want to speak on this? And Brother Nomad, we're gonna start. I got to get your information, and my moochies got to get your information. We can invite you to the cipher and sit with us, where you can speak and we can hear you. That's what I try to get everybody to donate and things, so they can be part of the cipher. And as our StreamYard can grow and grow, because I teach a lot of private things that I don't teach on here. Do anybody know what a little bit, want to give a little preface of the dumb diverses?
Islam.
Anybody?
Islam. So the dumb diverses was also a papal bull issued on June 18th of 1452 by Pope Nicholas V. It authorized King Afonso V of Portugal to fight, subjugate, and conquer those rising against the Catholic faith, and that's quote, and struggling to extinguish Christian religion.
See?
Namely the Saracens or Muslims.
See?
And pagans.
See? You see?
The Saracens.
The Saracens. And that's in your Bible. It's in your Bible. And a certain group of people. I'm telling you, your Islamic culture, understanding this was powerful. I ain't saying no Islam. I ain't saying no European Christianity. I'm talking about things that was already yours. I'm telling you. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Alonzo. Go ahead.
I just want to add on to what Noble Dantes brought about of the dummy diverses, because what it was, as you said, the Pope Nicholas the Fourth, but it was granting King Afonso the Fifth of Portugal the authority, like, to invade and conquer and subjugate, like we spoke about it, the other papal decree, and all non-Christians, right? So especially Muslims and pagans, as he brought out. But what was interesting is that the outcomes, so the decree was issued in a climate of crusade fervor. So like during the crusade. So it was aimed at supporting Christian efforts against the Ottoman Turks. See, Ottoman Turks, we got to throw that in there because that's another point of reference when we talking about
in the time of Genesis Quran, we broke that down. What I show you, you know,
Islam. So so what the whole thing was provided supposedly was to provide a moral and legal backing for the Portuguese slave trade in Africa. The whole thing was about that, Islam.
And that's when I show y'all the slave trades and where Judah had all these different names. When we talk about the Hebrew, the Negro question, we broke all this down. That's why we got to keep revisiting it and sharing it, because everybody, all professors I know, are like, this is scholarship, what you're doing, you know? And Brother Nomad just said on here, he broke it down. He said it granted King Alfonso, you know, of Portugal, the authority, just like Noble Alonso said. It was a part of the broader context of the age of exploration. Yes. Okay. Now let's go further. What y'all thought the Spanish Inquisition was all about? If the Moors ruled Spain or the Jews ruled Spain, who you think it was? What you think the Spanish Inquisition was? What you think was the genocide when you had the European Oliver Cromwell, when he genocided all those people under Cromwell, under the European Oliver Cromwell? We break this down in history. The Spanish Inquisition was another subjugation, was another slaughter. Think about this now.
Islam. You got to I'm just saying, you're gonna run into a whole lot of things in that. You know, a lot of book burnings, you know, burning, you know, empresses and things of that, and Selma. You're gonna go it's gonna bring you through a whole journey with that study.
And not only that, I remember when we was at our family reunion, because I got a lot of Nation of Islam Muslims in my family. Some of them not no more. They was under a certain leader. Some of them not no more. I ain't saying they was listen to me. I'm saying a lot of them, once you start learning, you be like, dang. And so my dad was having a conversation with one of my uncles, and we said, yes, this, that, and the other, but what about the damn Islamic slave trade, where under the name of Allah, they had captured your black butt and slaughtered you? And what about in the Bukhari Hadith, where it names all Muhammad's so-called black slaves? You know? And see, I told y'all, that's why I like the Inquisition. Listen, remember I told y'all you had Moors that understand the Islamic faith and the so-called Christian state, because you had who? You had Wentworth Matthew them and Rabbi Mordecai, you know? But then you had the Islamic Moors, you had Deuce Muhammad and all that. And so when we talk about the Spanish Inquisition, Jews who converted to Christianity, Moriscos. Remember I told y'all you had one Moriscos or more Moradines, and you would change to one or the other, maybe forced or willing, just like anything else, because most things was done under the name of your religious order or whatever you want to have it. These are just things. And that's why I say I can deal with people that just deal with wisdom, because we only dealing with elementary wisdom. And I say it's elementary to me because this has been taught in my home. And when I teach in the academia, it raised all our children up before I could even go to the next level. This should be the convincing. This should be according. And a spiritual aspect, I connect them all.
Islam. So what we see in Sheikh too is you bring it to light, just illuminating just in a full circle moment, that religion was absolutely used, right, to conquer, right, to claim sovereignty. All of these things was wrapped up in what you would call a quote unquote justification to subdue the world, right? Why? Under all those that were claiming non-Christian. So all those lands across the globe under the doctrine of discovery was deemed to be usurped as an order, as they put it, by God, not a man or a king or queen saying this or that. So
come on,
under that doctrine of discovery was all saying that they were given charge by God to do this.
Come on, Islam. That's what I be saying. The power said, come on, y'all. I say, brothers and sisters, come on. If that's the God that we can talk about that we like, that can't, clearly that's not, because that ain't what I get out the scriptures. If you get that out the scriptures, then you admit that you're a slave. You admit that I'm telling that we are gods. I'm telling we have a culture. This is the things you've been misclassed, and now you're willingly doing it. The shift is to teach this across all the halls. All the religious brothers know this. This is what I'm showing y'all. All our religious brothers that stand up, the Muslims, the so-called Hebrew Israelite that's older, the so-called Muslims, the so-called Masons, because all my European Masons know. If all of them know this, what's clearly, y'all brothers and sisters, we have to be like, we have to wake up, and we right here.
No,
we right here.
This. You know what this exercise just reminded me of? Like, you know how you get those books in academia where they have the books for the students? Mm-hmm. But the teachers get the teacher edition.
Mm-hmm.
The teacher edition is this. The teacher edition is what the BBT is bringing forth by the grace of Allah. It's giving you the teacher's edition, not the one that they gave you in school, but the teacher's edition. The teacher edition is going to give you footnotes. They're going to give you excerpts. They're going to give you indexes to where all these things come from. So when we're looking out at our world and we coming into the class, that's why Sheikh is inviting us to class. We get the teacher's edition here at the BBT. You don't get that regular book that you done got all those years before. Now you get to look at the answers. With that, I say Islam.
Islam. And we have to be okay with that. That's why I be telling people, like, this is life work. If we like LeBron James, we all that, we say we into this, we could do just as much or even less and have something. Because I'm telling you, we looking for them to do something, and no entertainer is going to do it. No athlete's going to do it. It have to be those that's their purpose to do it. Listen, y'all, I'm from Flint, Michigan. We had a lot of athletes that come from Flint. We had a whole bunch of people that I graduated from high school with went pro. None of these people done nothing for the city. You know?
But when we know better, we got to do better. And if we knew better, we would have grew better. You know what I mean? But this is the now new ever time, and ain't no time like the present.
None. Anybody want to add anything as we close?
I say it like this. One day, truth and a lie went out for a swim. And as the truth got far out into the water, the lie said, aha. And he swam back to shore quickly and put on truth's clothes. And from that day to now, naked truth has been trying to catch up to a well-dressed lie. And I think we got him today. Islam. We got him today.
Islam. Brother Nomad said, Sheikh, tell us about the auto-de-fe. Well, if anybody don't know what the auto-de-fe is, it's the meaning of an act in the Portuguese in Spain. If anybody ever heard it, it was like a public ceremony of a penance during a Spanish Inquisition. This happened then, where they put you on a cross, in front of people. The condemnation and punishment of individuals found guilty of hearsay, of other religious offenses. So what they try to say, you blasphemy or this, or you saying you going against, you were killed. That's why I said the overseer, and you couldn't be speaking to things like that, or the misnomer Black Christian codes, public trials, all that. That's where all this stuff come from. So it's so much that go with it, and the cross is nothing but a death device. So as we come to a close, brothers and sisters, as I cast our net out, I ask people to share this. Come to the cipher. Come to Sunday school. Come to Friday book reading. Be a subscriber. Get some more regalia. Frequent our businesses. Ask some questions. So much stuff can branch off of this. Podcasts can break off of this. Coming together, we get ready to have our 5th annual Moorish Ball. A group of brothers from all different areas. And here it is. We're getting ready to have our 5th annual Moorish Ball. 5th. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. 5th. A group of brothers, understanding from all different backgrounds, coming together, using their mind, their body, and a couple of dollars that we have to come together Just imagine if we had some of the things that other people complain that they have and we had it. Just imagine if we were like a lot of these people got hundreds of thousands of people get donating 10% of their income. Y'all got to know how to do right. You have to know, you have to be down when you contemplating and you meditate and be like, man, I hope our will match. Why? Because we need this. And we know what's going to happen at the BBT. Why? Because we know we got a good map and a guide. Why? Because y'all good maps and guides. That's why. Because y'all muftis, y'all adapts. Come on, I'm operating on the same wavelength y'all on. This is for us. We got to be talking about the same thing. We got to be sharing this with the people like this is a gift. That's what I tell people. This is a gift. You just like you got to imagine Nomad. Like Brother Nomad is here, and I give you gratitude for your donation. Watch this, Brother Nomad. Just imagine if we have brothers doing what you're doing and say, you know what, I trust these brothers. I want to deal with these brothers. They call, they check on me, whatever we work out together. Everything I need is here. We remove the ego. Imagine, Nomad, we have 300 brothers like you giving 25 one week, 25 the next week, 25 the next week, 25 the next week. $25 once a week equals $100 a month. Boom. And we have 300 people like that. We'll be at $300,000 in one calendar year. Hold me accountable. And it's coming and it's steady coming in like that consistently. And we got other people donating, seeing what we can do, brick and mortar. What we're doing would be even bigger. It'd be more magnanimous. Now we'll be able to have a stamp on it. Now we'll be able to plant our flag somewhere. Now people will be able to come. This is what I'm saying. And then we see real infrastructure. We see somebody doing everything they say. You see the library, you see the tutoring, you see brothers with fezzes and turbans on, you see brothers eating right, working out right, discipline, cleaning themselves up. You see us out in the world. That's what this is about. And so if we have more like brothers, like Brother Nomad and like my muftis and like my parents and like others that's out of the sound of my mouth, or anybody that want freedom, we have to agree to some things. And we can resurrect ourselves. How? Together. If we say we believe in something, at least your cup is halfway full. So if your cup is halfway full, then you have to be dealing with sound reason. You have to. You have to. If not, then we criminals. That's all I'm telling my brothers. And with that, I digress and I say gratitude, So like I said, if don't nobody have nothing else, if anybody wants this literature that gave a donation, no matter what it is, I'll give it to you. But I will hold more out of the sound of my mouth if you have it to give it on your heart, whenever it be, to at least try to give $10 to $20 consistently every time we hear, at least once a week when we have class. You don't have to do a Saturday and Sunday, or if you come to class Saturday and Sunday. But if it's on your heart to give $20 for the week until you feel better, until other things go on. I don't tell nobody to put themselves in a bind, but I think, and I really do, if it was me, I really believe that a workman is due his or her hire. I really do. Because if we go listen to some niggertainment and say, ooh, he sung good, and we buy some hot dogs or some nachos or whatever and some cheap drinks that we can go to the store and buy half a gallon for and say that was cool, and then you come on here and say you love me and don't put none to the altar, I think that's kind of selfish, because I wouldn't do it to you. I wouldn't do it to you. And I'm just saying the class that I have of what I love, I wouldn't do that to no brother, especially if I'm not a member or nothing, and this man doing this and he asking for something, I'll be sharing it, especially if I'm into it, because this is the thing about us. I gotta be, if I'm into something and I don't have nobody around me into it, I gotta find new friends. I have to make my family. And that's what this is about. If I have something good, we have to share it. Share it with your friends and family. We have to share it. We have to say, hey, man, support us with small donations. I ain't asking nobody to give me nothing. No, I ain't telling nobody like I'm the rest of these preachers to give me $1,000. This is $1,000 line. This is a $500 line. I don't do that. I say if it's on your heart, if you have to give $25 every week and others to do it, but if you don't, you can give whatever accordingly, and I'm going to treat you the same just like anyone else. Because I give honor to somebody to take some of their hard-earned money to support what we're doing. I'm going to give just as much to you as you give, and even more. Why? Because I can. And if you're really into this, bring the people to the storehouse. Hit us up. Hit my muftis up. All our information, go on here. And I got muftis that's honorable. We love to build our cipher. We travel all over. In real time. We put fezzes on people all over. I'll be traveling, putting fezzes on people's heads, showing them how to tie their turbans and kufis. We're talking about raising up. A lot of brothers and sisters, and it's so much that come with us. People say, I don't know how to tie the turban. You will when you with the BBT. I don't know how to tie the kufi. You will with the BBT. I don't know what my feds all about. I don't know how to get a feds. I know they sell them on Amazon. You don't have to buy nothing from Amazon and give them the money. You can support your brother. And this is what this is about. Our hope. This is our culture. And that's the only way we're going to have something like the Catholics, the Jews, or anybody else, or the Muslims, how they have their synagogues or their temples. The only way. Why? Because people support with finances. And we use this internet to throw our net out. So once again, I give y'all honor. Once again, for listening to me, I give you honor, Nomad, for giving that donation. But if anybody want this piece of literature that donated $20, y'all know how to get with me. I might not have it saved in my document because I'm traveling still, but I might have it with me. But if you give the donation and email me, because my information come on up and let me know who you are, or even give me a text, I'll shoot your information to my Mufti, and my Mufti will collaborate with you, and they'll send it to you. They'll send it to you right then. But that's all I'm telling people. Hit me up, goodmankhary@gmail.com, and my office number is 602-473-8767. Let me know you gave a donation and you would like that piece of literature, and I'll get it to you. I'll help you build your whole library. So I'm inviting y'all to class, and I'm inviting everybody to, if you're not comfortable being a member and being obligated to other things, far as supporting and all this, please just come, because that's the only membership it takes. It don't take nothing else. But we do like commitment and dedication with things, because we are trying to build something. We are trying to build our brick and mortar once again. And I hope everybody understand what we're doing and have respect when we in this realm of doing ministry and educating our family and friends and all that want to be here, because we're here by choice. So with that being said, I love y'all. Nobody else got nothing else?
Gratitude and love.
It's gratitude and love for the teacher, Sheikh, as always. Islam.
Man, gratitude and love to y'all, man. Like I said, I ain't nothing without the people. I don't care how great or how fine I think I am or my wife think I am. I ain't nothing without y'all. And this is my life work, and I give gratitude. And I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to keep trying to strike gold, man. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. Sometimes when you dig dirt, and you think you throwing that dirt on you, no, you're not. It's going out. And you so close. Then we give up sometimes, and we right there. Then somebody else start digging it, and they be right there. They be like, he gave up. No, you dig until the flesh is gone. I'm in this for the whole hog. That's why I said I can't wait till we get to the level to these other people. That's doing things in the realm. And this finances. It takes finances for us to do things, y'all. We got to get that poor mentality, that welfare, that Section 8 attitude out of our head. If we're going to be a people, the government ain't our daddy. We are daddy. We control our finances. Who? You. You control where your money go to. You control it. We control it. And hold me accountable. This is what I'm saying. This is the only way this can be spread. How? We have to have this. We have to be okay with putting some money behind what we're doing. We have to. We have to. And hold me accountable. This ain't no Rolls Royce Diaries. This ain't me with no designer clothes sitting on the floor of the game. This is us having an establishment, having a brick and mortar, having something that we should. So nobody can stop. So I love y'all. Gratitude and peace, family. Take us out.
Peace and love. Somebody want to hit us with a map? Not close.
Yes, sir. And our benediction, please.
Islam.
Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is our protector, our guide, and our salvation by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Shalom Aleichem, Ayah Asha Ayah, Islam, Amen, peace, light, and illumination. Islam.
Islam. A talisman benediction reads as follows: May the benediction of Allah be upon thee and thine always, as thou shouldst strive to be a credit to Allah. Make haste to bestow thine acts of love upon thy brethren, and do the best to shun thine evil ones. Remember to take suckle of the breast of knowledge, wisdom, fortitude, charity, love, and all standing, that you might nourish the souls of men. Let truth be the shield in the manifest battle of falsehood. Know that Moors need not to pick the locks to the gates of paradise by means of petty or criminal theft, for behold, the key to salvation already rests within thine own hands. And yes, even though a portion of our nature is weakness, instability, and inconsistency, there still is the greater part of our nature that is divine. May Allah protect thee, guide thee, preserve thee, lengthen thy age, and give thee everlasting peace. Al-Rahman, Al-Rahim, Al-Haq, Ya Muhammin. And at the BBT, when we say Al-Haq, that's one of the illustrious attributes of Allah, and it means the truth. And when we say Ya Muhammin, another illustrious attribute of Allah, and it means the protector. We at the BBT see ourselves as truth protectors, and we cast our net out to all true and divine light seekers, for the truth has no sides, for the truth is one, as man is with Allah. And with that, we say peace,
Peace.
peace, 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 peace,
Peace. Love y'all, man. Love
Peace.
y'all nobles. Y'all know that.
Islam.
See y'all in the morning for workout.
Islam.
Islam. Peace and love. Assalamu alaikum. Hotep.
Thank you for
Peace, God.
Shalom alaikum.
Peace to the gods and earth. Peace, peace,
Shalom
peace,
alaikum.
peace,
Peace,
peace.
peace, peace. Shalom.
I'm a spirit speaking, truth seeking, heart reaching, knowledge leaking, seed sowing, harvest reaping, man of meager means. I have yet.
mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z.
Once again, this broadcast has been brought to you by mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z, where reading fundamental. Also brought to you by bindedbooks.com, where treasures are bound. Be sure to get all of your teas at My Son's Teas, the tea of teas, divinely prepared at herbsofmyaunt.com. Be sure to check out all of those musical stylings by Brian Hicks Bay at bhbaymusic.com. For your everyday items and religious regalia, be sure to check out mooreshaberdasher.com. And for that everyday especial Moore strip, be sure to check out mooresachi.com. And all of these companies are powered by ALO Design Pros. Design your online business strategy today.
No such thing as failure, baby. Don't forget who made